Nothing fancy today, perhaps just a flow from head to toe. So literally just covering the whole body more holistically. So really covering the whole body. So you might feel a little bit less stiff, maybe less tense. So begin on your backs, please. And by having the legs completely stretched out. So you can almost pretend you're just waking up, just rolling out of, well, not rolling out of bed, so you're still in bed. Bring your arms up overhead, give yourself a good stretch, maybe even just bring your hands together, a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. So that's actually quite a good thing to do in the morning. You probably do it quite naturally anyway. Good. And then you can release your hands again in case you just held on to a couple of fingers. Take a deep inhale into your belly or into your whole body. And on the exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Bring your hands around your shin or your knee. It's gentle squeeze. On your next inhale, move your leg away from you. Arms up overhead. So coming to that initial position we started. Deep inhale. Exhale, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Gentle squeeze. So let the breath guide you. Inhale, arms up overhead. Extend that right leg away from you. And on the exhale, hugging your left knee in. So continue at your own pace by using the breath to be your guide. So inhale, extend arms up overhead. On the exhale, hug the opposite knee or the knee back in where you have that, where you found your own little rhythm. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, slowly bring one knee at a time in towards your chest. So really lengthening, stretching. On the inhale, exhale, just bring the knee towards your chest. So that helps also the digestive system going. So the right knee is associated with the ascending column and the left knee with the descending. So inhale, arms up overhead, stretching the whole body. Exhale, hugging one knee at a time back into your chest. So do one more on each side and finish with your left knee hugged in towards your chest, please. And then just hold it for a couple of breaths. So once you have your left knee hugged in towards your chest, let your right knee join as well. So we bring both knees into our bellies, perhaps a little bit of a sway, a little bit of a rock from side to side. So focusing on that breath and movement connection. So we are continuing with that movement of arms, legs, and the breath. On the inhale, extend both legs up towards the ceiling and the arms up and overhead. Take one inhale, one exhale. And on your next inhale, your arms are still up overhead, legs still up. Also, open your legs, just bring your feet out to the side, so into V shape. Inhaling, exhaling, bring the feet together, hug your knees in towards your chest, arms also hug around your knees. So we are lengthening on the inhale, the legs up towards the ceiling. The feet come into V shape, so the legs travel out to the left and to the right. Exhale, bring your feet together, hug your knees into your chest. So a little flow here, inhaling. Feet come into V shape, exhaling, bring the feet together, hug your knees in towards your chest. So we're getting the blood flow really going also into the thighs, into the inner sides of your thighs. So we're just working with one inhale. Arms up overhead, feet out or coming into V shape. Exhale, bring the feet together, arms hug around your knees, around your shins. So find your own little flow from head to toe. So do 2 more. Inhale, lengthen feet, come into V shape. Exhale, bring arms together, feet or legs towards your chest. So and once you finish your 2 cycles, hug your knees towards your chest, please. And just let the weight of your legs settle here, maybe gentle rocking, smallish circles around your lower spine, around the lower back. Perhaps change directions as well. Bring your legs out to the, or move circling in the opposite direction. Then bring your arms out to the sides, please. Palms facing down so they can be in T shape. So you have that stability through the floor. And allow your knees gently swaying from side to side. So your knees kind of pretend to lean over towards the left side and towards the right side. So we are slightly activating the core. Once you found a little flow for your legs, you can take your head in the opposite direction. So your knees sway gently towards the right. Your head comes over towards the left. On the exhale, always bring your knees back. And on the inhale, let your knees flop over towards one side. So inhale out to the sides. Exhale back to center. So just gently warming up the core without letting the knees drop too far towards the earth. So just a little awakening of the lower back of the core and your neck, your head. And then find your way back towards the center. You can bring your arms around the side of your body. So perhaps curl together like a little ball. Bring your nose towards your knees. Stretching around the back body. Bring the chin towards your chest, kind of deepening that stretch. And then release the upper body down. Bring the feet, both feet towards the earth, about hip distance apart. So continue with the breath movement connection, moving up into bridge posture. So on the inhale, bring the arms up and over and also lift your hips off the floor. On the exhale, bring your hips down, arms alongside the body too. So allow your breath to synchronize with that movement. So the moment you bring your arms down towards the earth, also your hips make contact with the earth. So notice if your arms perhaps travel quite fast. So find that kind of sweet spot where your hips and your palms come down towards the earth at the same time. So inhale, lifting up. Exhale, slowly lowering your hips and arms down. So we're working with one inhale and one exhale. At any point, if there's any discomfort on your lower back, perhaps take a pause, just rest. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lower down. If you feel you've got more energy and you want to stay in that posture for a little bit longer, the next time you bring the arms up and over and your hips are lifted up, stay here. So pressing the feet into the earth. You can lift the heels off the floor as well, so that makes it even stronger. So I'm just giving options. Stick with that version that works for you today, please. Perhaps bring the heels down, slowly arms and hips come down towards the earth as well. So if you went for the stronger version, take a moment just to settle. So then perhaps coming back in, rising your arms up overhead. Settling here, keep enough space between your chin and your chest. Imagine you're kind of holding an orange, so don't squeeze it. Just there's enough space to breathe. If you wish, lift your heels off the floor. Notice if your knees go to the left and to the right, so the legs should remain parallel. One more breath, and then bring your heels down if you had them lifted, arms and hips down as well. Take a moment to settle. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Gentle rock. So even stretching through the back body, for the back side. If you wish, curl together like a little ball or just stay exactly as you are. Lovely. And then find that kind of stillness again. Bring both legs up towards the ceiling. Give them a little bit of a shake. And then circle your feet. So you can hold your hands on the floor, on your belly, on your thighs, so wherever the legs feel, wherever your hands want to rest. Circle the feet, perhaps flex and point. Maybe go the opposite direction. You can take one foot in one direction, the other in the opposite direction. So there's no right or wrong, just movement here. Coming once more, a little bit of into a shake. Shaking out your feet, your shins, your calves, your thighs. And then hug your knees into your chest and roll over onto one side and come up into a seated position. So, a couple of options here again, sitting either cross-legged or with your legs out in front of you. You can take a blanket underneath your sitting one, so you're a little bit higher. So if cross-legged feels accessible, sit in a cross-legged position. Otherwise, you can have your knees or your feet out in front of you. So bring your hands alongside the body, lengthening up through your right arm and lean over towards your left side. Let the top arm become really heavy. Inhale, big arm circle, open your left arm up towards the ceiling and then lean over towards the left side. Lovely, inhale, lengthening. Exhale, bring the opposite arm up and let your body just kind of sway here from side to side. So a couple of rounds here, inhale, lengthening. And exhale, softening. So we are lengthening, we are creating a bit more room around the rib cage, thoracic spine. Inhale, seek that length, and then exhale, lean over. Almost you visualize how your vertebra, one by one, lean over towards one side. So visualization actually is quite a powerful tool that accentuates, that deepens that practice. Lovely. So always keep the spine quite long. So if it feels uncomfy sitting cross-legged, change the position so that the spine is nice and long. Lovely. One more on each side. Good. And then stay on that last, or before we finish here for a little bit longer. And then turn the top arm up towards the ceiling, opening the chest. And then let that arm just kind of as if you want to bring it down towards the earth. So open up that shoulder, that chest, looking perhaps up and exhaling down. So keeping a soft bend in the elbow, where the elbow maybe draws back gently. So we are lengthening, we're stretching for the chest muscles. One more breath here. And then switching sides. So once more, stay for a little bit longer. So let that top arm hover, soften. And on your next inhale, open that chest. So kind of turn that chest up and then turn the chest down on the exhale. So the arm literally just adds as a weight. So exhale, more of an upper body twist. Inhale, open. Good. Take one more. Opening up. And exhale, in a way, closing. Good. Big arm circle, sitting nice and tall. So moving into the shoulders. One up. Kind of have a little bit of a game. Left one up, left one down, right one down. Maybe even with your breath. So inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Lovely. And then last one here. And then find just a bit of stillness. So you can have your hands, if you're sitting in with your legs, knees pointing up, slide down, just letting the upper body hang. If you have your legs cross-legged, soften forward here as well. So it's more of a hip opener. So breathing here. Good. Change the position of your hands so we are stretching one side of the body, so you can walk your hands, directing that stretch to one side of your body. So if you're seated, you can just have both hands facing the same direction, so towards perhaps the left leg. So breathing into that opposite side, creating more length, coming back to center, whether it's cross-legged or knees up towards the ceiling, opposite side, second side. Visualize where do you feel that breath? Where's that stretch almost the strongest? Where do you feel that release? And send that breath into those areas. So they need perhaps a little bit more of an opening motion. Good. Coming back to center. Good. Couple of neck circles. So look, or neck practices. Looking over your right shoulder. Coming back to center. Looking over your left shoulder. So mobilizing the neck and check in, maybe sleeping a bit funnily or perhaps just a little bit of a general tension. Which side feels more restricted? So yoga brings that introspection into the body. So sometimes when we just go through life, we think, oh, I feel tense, but you don't really know where you feel it. So yoga is that gives us the opportunity to really connect to the body back again. Lovely. Coming back to center, wherever you can, if you sit like this, hold on to your knees. If you sit cross-legged, also hold on to your knees. So we are rolling back. Perhaps it's a good time now to come off your blanket, as it might give you a little bit of instability. So coming to seated cat and cows, drawing the navel in, rounding the spine as you bring your chin towards your chest. And then inhale, lift the chest, perhaps looking up towards the ceiling without throwing the head too far back. Good. Rounding the spine on the exhale, chin towards your chest. Keep your arms really long. You may only almost feel your arms really help prevent you from just rolling back. So that gives you perhaps also a nice stretch from the shoulders all the way to your wrists. So inhale, lengthening, drawing the shoulders back. And exhale, softening. So that works both ways, however you have your legs. So that we're working also with that pelvic tilt. So as we roll back, the pelvis rolls back. As you pull yourself forward, also the pelvis rotates forward, shifts forward. So finding a little bit of a length, that stretch through the back body. So one more movement here as you Round the spine on the exhale. Inhale, you pull yourself forward, drawing the shoulders back. Cross your hands over. So your right hand, bring your right hand onto your left knee and your left hand onto your right knee. Do the same movement, almost just like rolling back, holding here. Crossing over. Letting yourself almost go. So you're leaning back, you're just, your hands literally hold onto your knees, to your shins, and breathe into that upper body, into the back body. And then inhale, pulling yourself forward, change that crossing. So the right hand might be now on top instead of the left hand. So you're still changing that crossing with just the opposite arm on top. Rolling back, chin towards your chest. Breathe into that back body. One more breath. And then slowly coming back, center. A couple of shoulder rolls, maybe any movement. Good. And then transition onto all fours. Have perhaps a blanket for your knees. So we did some more static cat and cows. We are coming to a little bit of a flow between tabletop posture. So where we have our hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath our hips, and then child's pose. So softening, extend your arms out in front of you. So you bring the bottom towards your heels, stretch out. Your head can hover for the time being. You're not going to be here for too long. So your bottom pushes or pulls you back, your fingertips want to walk forward, really lengthening. On the inhale, begin to move forward. So as if you hover over the floor, arching the spine, lifting up, rounding the spine, softening your bottom back. So keep it quite fluid as we are bringing that movement, like a wave-like movement into the body. So if it feels uncomfortable for your shoulders, bring your hands a little bit closer. So we are literally, so our hands are glued as well as our legs are glued towards the earth. You can take your knees a little bit further apart, so there's not any restriction for breathing or for the belly, for the tummy. So lengthening it, inhale, hover, breathing. Exhale, chin towards your chest as you keep that back rounded until you sit back on your heels. Good. Softening. So letting the whole body, bring that whole movement into the body. Good. Inhale, swimming forward, exhale, rounding the spine back. Lovely, coming back to center. Come onto your forearms, please. You can make a fist. So my elbows are a little bit further forward from my shoulders, so not directly underneath, a little bit further forward. So I'm activating the core as well. So begin to shift forward as if you want to bring your tummy down, and then exhale, push back into that original tabletop. So letting yourself lower. You feel your stomach muscles automatically kick in, and then pushing slightly back to tabletop where we came. If you feel energetic, you may want to hold here for a couple of breaths. So it's a very gentle plank. So inhale, rocking forward, perhaps holding, but continuing to breathe. Exhale, slowly pushing back to the original starting posture. At any point, maybe rest, just finding your breath. So you can lean forward, you can lower the belly, the tummy as far as it feels okay. You can even shift the bottoms a little bit further back. So notice how it feels in your shoulders and how it feels in your core. So you're creating a little bit of heat. But that core movement helps to stabilize also the lower back. So shifting forwards, shifting slowly back, and then find that stillness so you can keep your upper body, keep your bottom up in the air. You can sit all the way back to child's pose, stretching out wherever your arms want to be. A couple of deep, full breaths. In through your nose, exhale. Out through your nose. Lovely. So resting here, take your arms to the right side. So we are just coming into a little bit more of a side stretch again. So both arms move towards the right side of your mat. Find a way to support your head. So you can rest your head, for example, on your right forearm. Lengthening, stretching here. Experiment perhaps with the height of your buttocks. So maybe it's sitting back if it feels okay for your knees. Maybe it's a little bit higher up. You may want to bring your arms a little bit further forward. One more breath. And then sliding your hands back, coming back to center. Second side, slide your hands towards the right side. You may want to perhaps rest your head on your left forearm, reaching forward with your right palm. So the more you activate your right arm, perhaps lifting the right elbow and the right armpit, the deeper that sensation might travel into your back. Lovely. 2 more breaths. And then find your way back to center. Coming up into tabletop. A little bit of a wiggle. So moving through your spine as if you're a little bit of a worm. Maybe just ironing out any creases. Let your neck, let your head soften. So we're coming into downward dog. So if it feels uncomfortable for you today, come into puppy pose. So puppy pose is knees and hips are in one line. You bring the arms forward and you just rest your head towards the floor or might even float. Otherwise, lift up into downward dog. So curl the toes under, lift your knees off the floor, pedal out your feet. So perhaps focus on that calf stretch, stretching your legs, the back body, stretching the upper body, the front body. So if you're still in puppy pose, that's perfectly fine too. So it gives you the same calming posture as your head is lower than your heart. So pedaling your feet. If you're in downward dog, good. Sway your tail from side to side. Good. Bring your knees down again and coming into kneeling. So we are kneeling up, or we're coming to a kneeling posture here. Take any padding for your knee, please. So a little bit of a flow as well. Bring your arms out to the sides, palms face up. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the backs of your palms together and then slowly folding forward as your arms go to the back. Bring the left side of your head towards the earth. Inhale, bring the arms up out to the sides, reaching up, lengthening. Exhale, bring the backs of your palms together, arms wide as you fold on your hips. Bring the right ear towards the floor. So one more flow on each side. Inhale, coming back up, lengthening. Exhale, slowly, arms out to the sides as you fold and bring the left ear towards the earth. Last one here. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, backs of your palms and bring the arms to the sides. Right ear or right head towards the earth. Good. Coming back into neutral tabletop. Curl your toes under. Shift your bottom up into downward dog. So we're transitioning into standing in a moment. So pedal out your feet. Do anything you need to do. If you've got lots of energy, perhaps lift that opposite leg up on top. Lift the one leg away. So coming to free leg downward dog. So it's different energy levels. Notice what you want to do. And then begin you to walk your hands towards your feet. Have the feet a little bit wider. Have a bend in your knee as you slowly roll up to standing. Rolling the shoulders back. Good. So up and standing, using again our arms to bring more the breath into the upper parts of your leg. Interlace your hands in front of you. Turn your palms around so you're pressing them away from you. Keeping them shoulder height. Notice how do the shoulders respond. One inhale, one exhale. On the next inhale, bring your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your arms to the sides. Begin to lean forward. And then hold on to your shins, to your thighs, letting your neck, your upper body just soften. Stay for one breath. Inhale, slowly roll up to standing. Bring your arms again out to the sides, reaching up. And bring your palms together on the exhale. Good. Keeping your palms in front of your heart center. Interlace your hands again. Reaching the arms this time all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, arms to the sides as you slowly fold forward. So hold on to your thighs, to your shins as you soften. Stay for one inhale, one exhale. Inhale, have a soft bend in your knees as you slowly come up, arms out to the sides. Inhaling, lengthening. Palms towards your heart center on the exhale. Good. Arms out to the sides on the inhale this time. Exhale, bring your right hand onto your thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lean over towards the right side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, lean over towards the opposite side as your right arm comes up to the top. Good. Couple of rounds here. Inhale, exhale, come back up. Exhaling, leaning over towards the opposite side. Good. Coming back up, inhale. And exhale. Switching sides. So lengthening that body. One more on each side. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, leaning over. Good. Coming back to center. Inhale. Exhale, second side. Good. Back to center, arms out to the sides. Begin to lean forward so your hands can just soften down, travel down your legs, folding forward. Shake your neck, shake your head. Stay for one or two breaths. Inhale through your nose, exhale perhaps out through your nose, through your mouth, whatever feels most accessible. Perhaps give your head a bit of a shake. Good. As you come up, come into a squat or as if you're sitting on a chair. So your feet about hip distance apart. Lovely. Kind of pulse here a little bit. So bouncing here up and down. Good. And then bring your arms out in front, coming up to standing. Exhale back into your chair, arms out, about parallel to the floor. On the exhale, bring your left arm behind you, look towards your left arm. Inhale, bring the arm back forward. So you're still in that squat, lovely. Exhale, right arm goes back as you follow the right arm with your gaze. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, both hands to the sides as you come up to standing. Good. Wiggle your legs. Good. From the front of your mat, please. Coming into that kind of vision, imaginary chair pose. Bring your hands onto your hips, please, onto your thigh, onto your hips, onto your waist. Shift your weight into your right foot and slowly take your left leg back to let it land there. Good. So both feet are forward. Stretching for the back of your for your calf. Bring your arms up to the sides. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hand towards your heart center. Good, lovely. 2 more rounds. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands back towards your heart center. Last one here. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bring your hands towards your heart center. Stay here for a moment to land, to soften. Shoulders away from your ears. Bring your right hand onto the outside of your right thigh, lengthening through your left arm, and lean over towards the right side. Activate your core to help with balance. Coming back to center, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lean over towards the right side again. So we are lengthening the left side and the psoas again. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, leaning over. Coming back to center, left arm reaches out towards the side. Bring your hands behind your back, make a fist, and draw your arms towards the earth. So we are lengthening through the chest. Chest lifts. You can slightly raise your gaze, breathing into the front body. Lovely. One more breath. And then release your hands and transition into a balancing posture. You can bring the left foot in. Keep the left toe perhaps resting on the earth. You can stay here, seek that length. You might want to lift that left leg. So finding your balance. You can always use support, a wall, a chair, anything that's nearby. Warrior 3. Embody those, that strength. Good, so we are lengthening, creating strength in that standing leg. Keep your eyes focused on a point that's not moving. Don't forget to breathe. Good balancing, good warriors. And then travel your left leg through to meet your right leg. And shake out your legs. Good. Second side. So from the front of your mat, come into that imaginary chair pose. Hands onto your thighs, hands onto your waist. Shift your weight into your left foot. Slowly lift your right leg and step it back. As you land, bring the right heel down. Left knee is bent. Perhaps adjust the stance. If there's too much of a pull on your calf, perhaps bring the stance a little bit closer. So a couple of movements here again through your arms. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, slowly draw your hands back towards the heart center. So let the breath guide you. Notice if your arms travel too fast. Inhale, reaching up, invite the new day, all that sunshine, that blue sky, that clarity into your heart, into your body. Good, last one here. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, draw down into your heart center. Good. Bring your left hand onto your left thigh, reaching that right arm up. Seek that length. Little bit of core strength. Activate. Lean over towards the left side. Coming back to center. Reach that arm up. Lengthening. Exhale. Over towards the left. Lovely. Last one here. Inhale. Lengthening. Exhale. Lean over towards the left. One inhale, one exhale, staying a little longer. Bring your arm back. Interlace your hands behind your back, make a fist. Draw that fist away from you, so the shoulders also soften. Breathe into that chest, into that heart center. Maybe you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lovely, one more breath. And then release your hands, shift your weight forward. Perhaps the right toe stays on the floor. Perhaps slowly lift the right toe off the mat. Your arms can be on your waist behind you, in front of your heart center. So find the arm position that works for you, that gives you the best balance. Perhaps even out to the side, so a bit like an airplane. So finding that balance, that focus. Good. So you can always use support. It still helps to create that strength, bone strength for your left standing leg. Good. And then slowly sail that right foot to meet your left foot. Whew. A little bit of shaking out your legs. So just give yourself a bit of a twist. So arms are really floppy. Find that spaciousness, that air, feel that air between your hands, maybe around your elbows, shins. So keep it quite soft. Maybe even give yourself a tap on the opposite shoulder. So it's a gentle twist. Keep it quite soft in your legs as well. Good. Lovely. And then slowly, without stopping abruptly, just let your arms kind of flop down and find that stillness back in your body. So a little bit of TLC for our feet. So the toes, the toe joints, they're always probably moving more in one direction than the other. So very gently come onto the tops of your feet and roll onto your toenails. So that might cause a bit more of a stretch for the top foot. And then slowly rolling back. So just moving through those toe joints very slowly. So as if you're putting a little bit of weight on. If you feel, you can always stay for a little bit longer. Breathe into that sensation. How does it feel in the top of your foot? Is it too much of a stretch? So keep it dynamic, moving in and out. Lovely. Perhaps stay for a little bit longer. Breathe. So we're waking up our toe joints. Feet, very important. And then change sides if you haven't changed already. So just slowly, you probably know your feet, your toes, the best. So just very softly, very slowly moving, rolling onto your toe joints. So if it feels okay, perhaps stay for a couple of breaths. You may have to shift your body weight a little bit back so there's not too much weight leaning on those toe joints. Good. So in shoes, we're generally just the opposite way. So we're making sure we are taking the toe joints through those different dimensions, different directions. Lovely. And then find your way back to center. So have your feet perhaps a little bit wider. You can change, you can turn around to face the long edge of your mat. That gives you more stability, perhaps less sliding. Bring your hands onto your hips, please. And taking the bottom back as if somebody's behind you or something's behind you, you want to push out of the way. So that keeps your upper body nice and long. You can adjust your hands, bring them onto your thighs. Perhaps stay with your body a little bit more parallel. Breathing into your hamstrings, into the backs of your thighs. If it feels accessible, you may want to bring your hands onto your shins, keeping the length in your spine as you let your head slightly drop towards the earth. So notice how it feels in the pelvis, in your upper back, and in your hamstrings. So softening here, calming here with your head slightly lower than your heart. If it feels accessible, you can release a little bit further down. So you're coming into that forward fold, holding onto your shins, to your thighs. Breathe into the backs of your legs. In through your nose, and either out through your nose or out through your mouth. One more breath. And then begin to bring your hands, or walk your hands slowly up onto your knees, your thighs, and coming into standing. So take it very slowly as blood pressure adjusts. Perhaps bring your chin towards your chest. So there's that, that brings that dizziness perhaps out. Bring your feet again together. Lovely. And we're moving down towards the earth. So from the back of your mat, depending how you feel, you can come straight onto tabletop, or you can move through that downward dog. So if you come through downward dog, perhaps have your feet a little wider and just softening down. So sliding your hands down, making contact with the earth, walking into your downward dog, pedaling your feet. So perhaps swaying your hips, kind of pretending you've got a tail, so swaying the tail from side to side. And then eventually bring your knees down. And then coming into a seated position. So in a seated position, have the feet, so bring the feet together so the knees come into that kind of diamond shape. And find a little bit of that sway. You can rock even from side to side. And then find that stillness here as well. Use your hands to lengthen through the crown of your head. So the shoulders draw away from your spine. So notice or visualize how tall, how upright your spine is. Keep that uprightness in your spine and begin to lean forward. So you're moving towards your feet. So find a comfortable space to stay. So it's less about bringing the knees towards the earth. It's that just opening through the hips, finding that stillness. So a couple of deep breaths. Two more breaths. And then slowly come back up to seated. You can bring your knees together and slowly soften, rolling onto your spine, onto your back. Good. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Just let it hover for a few moments. And then extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. Hold onto the back of your right thigh. Flex your right foot, please. Breathing through those sensations. So you may want to stay here with the upper body on the floor. If you wish, on the exhale, lift your head, your shoulders, and move towards your right thigh. Continue to breathe. While the lower back almost presses into the earth. And then having your right knee back, bring the upper body down, softening. One more time, extend your right leg up. Either stay here as you flex the right foot. Or on the exhale, lift head, shoulders off, moving towards that right thigh. Breathe in a kind of soft, calm fashion. If it feels you're straining the breath, come back down. So if you're still holding, also make your way down. So bring the right knee in towards your chest, gentle squeeze, and then change sides. So bring the left knee in towards your chest. Let it hover for a breath or two. And then extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. Draw your toes towards your face as you hold onto the back of your thigh. Either stay here, just breathing, or drawing your chest, your shoulders away from the floor towards your left thigh. So literally lengthening from the base of your skull towards the heel. Exhale, hugging your knee in, just letting the upper body soften as well. Last one here, extend the left leg up, perhaps hold it here. If you wish, lift shoulders, head off the floor. So you're moving closer towards your left thigh. Good. Breathing. And hugging your left knee in towards your chest. Bring both knees in this time. And gentle, just rock, sway from side to side. So a couple of breaths. And bring your feet down towards the earth. So any socks, any blankets, so you can come into a restful posture, either on your back, on your side, on your tummy, maybe legs up on the sofa, on a chair. If you prefer to be seated, also just find that just any comfortable space to rest. And whichever position you find yourself in. So just notice your body. How does your body feel? And just release the weight of your body into the earth. So take one more deep inhale through your nose. And then really let it very slowly escape out through your nose or out through your mouth. So very exhale, lengthen and exhale as you soften. So perhaps notice where you're still holding tension. Maybe is it in your face, maybe in your shoulders, perhaps in your belly, maybe in your feet. And see if you can get perhaps 15-20% more comfortable as you rest. Without shaping the breath, let the breath just naturally flow in through your nose and out through your nose or through your mouth. Allowing all the muscles to soften. Just give yourself permission to pause before you get on with the rest of your day. Bring softness into your toes, into your feet, into your calves, into your shins. Relaxing your tummy. Your chest, your shoulders. Feel that rising with each inhale and then softening. Release on the exhale. Soften your neck, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead, and the top of your head. Breathing in, perhaps a bit more clarity, maybe sunshine, energy, courage. And breathing out any stress and tension you might be holding on to, any stagnant energy, any stale breaths. Maybe any discomfort. Your whole body is at ease. Your mind is calm, your breath quiet. Leave you for a couple of more moments and then I'll let you know when it's time to come back out. So very slowly and gradually invite deeper breaths into your body. Let them flow down your lungs all the way into your belly. Maybe exhale, side out. Bring movement into your fingers, your toes, your head. Kind of just you rock your head from side to side. Maybe stretch your arms up. Perhaps as we started, give yourself a good stretch, stretching from fingertips to toes. And then have your knees into your chest. So maybe just rounding here, perhaps just rocking, remaining still. And then slowly roll over to one side. Let the body adjust back to movement and then find your way into any seated position. So bring your arms out to the sides, visualize drawing in the new day, that clarity, that freshness, that sunshine. Bring it back into your heart center. As you inhale, silently say in your head, thank. As you exhale, you. So thank yourself for making time today, looking after yourself. Namaste.